All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Cocktails In. Here we are again for another week of addicting conversations between friends who've been there, done that, and still want more. Hello, my friends.
Hello.
We are in that.
Very lovey.
You're feeling very lovey?
I'm feeling very lovey towards the two of you.
Oh,
good. That's nice.
As opposed to last week when I was not feeling very lovey towards anyone.
Anyone? So you're feeling much better this week, huh?
Well, let's not go over
Good.
it, but
a
little bit. Yeah.
So you've got
looking ahead. I'm looking ahead.
There you go.
Looking ahead, which is exactly what we're talking about today. And we're going to get right into it here today because, we're excited to talk about this conversation. We are at the end of the year. We are actually into the new year. And we've talked a lot over the last few weeks in the podcast about the holidays and getting ready for the holidays and how do we make sure that we enjoy our time and not get too stressed. And then, so hopefully everybody enjoyed all of time with family and festivities around the holidays. But now the stress starts to creep in again because guess what? Everybody starts talking about, what is it?
New Year's resolution. Does that give you any clue as to my whole attitude about the whole thing?
Yeah, I get. So this will be an interesting conversation.
I'm hoping to learn something that'll put this in perhaps a little bit better frame of mind. So
yeah, okay,
yeah.
Well, so
can I show you my drink first?
Oh yeah.
That is so pretty.
Okay, so I tried this because Amy sent me a video and she goes, "This is your drink." So I tried to do it and it did the right thing. See how the little sprinkle things go down the inside of the glass?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So it didn't make the recipe exactly, but I'll have to figure out how to post this. It is what I did make is kind of tasty, but yeah, it's kind of pretty.
So it had all of Stacey's favorites in it.
Yeah.
Rum chata. What?
Yeah.
Kahlua.
Half and half. Yeah. I actually have peppermint Kahlua, so I used peppermint.
Ooh.
It's very good.
What kind of vodka did it call for?
It was some vanilla.
Oh, vanilla vodka. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to post that one. It is kind of pretty.
It's like
how they did it.
A breath mint in a glass with all the peppermint.
Right. Yes. For sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, these are good little recipes to share. I was Bill and I were at dinner recently, and the restaurant, I took a picture of it. I'm sitting here looking at the picture. The restaurant had these really fun, this was right at Christmas time, so bookmark these for next time around, a Christmas margarita and a Santa Claus-mopolitan.
Ooh, do tell. What's in both of them?
Yeah. Okay, so the Christmas margarita is Don Julio, triple sec, coconut mix with a cinnamon sugar rim. That sounds lovely. And the Santa Claus-mopolitan is Tito's. I'm sure that we could use our Grey Goose. Cranberry juice, lime juice, triple sec, fresh cranberries, and a sugar rim.
Yep, I would drink that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds delightful. Very well chilled, I bet.
Yeah.
I love it when it gets so chilled, it's almost slushy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of icy a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good cocktails. I'm just sitting here with my. It's fine.
Well,
it's in a pretty. Yeah, it's in a pretty tumbler.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Mhm.
Kitty and I also went out a few weeks ago and whoop-de-dooed it. Not really, but we did. We went out to 2 fancy places,
Mhm.
and I had martinis at both places. And let me just tell you, if you do order a martini, it is a 1 drink per restaurant type of drink. They were both flavorful and potent.
Mhm.
And for somebody who could have like 2 or 3 glasses of wine, 1 martini was the economical choice. Let's put it that way.
Easily. Yeah.
Full, great olives, cute as all hell glasses. I love a little coupe glass, just a little
Yeah.
itty bitty coupe glass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yum.
It's been interesting to watch this trend around. It's not new. It's been around for, well, it got hot. These craft, help me out with the terminology here for the
Cocktails or beer? Oh,
mixology.
mixology. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That it's, and at first when this started happening, I was very intimidated by it, and partially because I really only like vodka or gin, and I don't really need anything fancy other than a vodka soda or a gin and tonic or whatever. Um, and sometimes I feel like there's just so much in them, but it's kind of fun once in a while. And that was a few weeks ago when you and I went out. It
Yeah.
was fun to order off of the special menu. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Um, so all right, the topic of resolutions. Well, first of all, I want to say, and you guys know this about me because we've known each other for so long, but I, in general, don't really like New Year's as a whole.
Hmm.
And
But yet
and
you host a party
Why?
almost every New Year's.
I host a party because I feel like if I don't, well, I host a party because I want to be around people celebrating. And but I look at it like this is totally half glass half full perspective, which isn't normally like me. I
No.
feel like I'm a very positive person, but when I look at New Year, I'm like, shit, another year is gone. Instead of thinking, look, another new year is in front of us. That's how I look at New Year's. That's why I don't like it.
Oh. Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Now
Yeah.
I can think about
So like
that.
the things that you didn't get done or do, or just that you're another year older, or it's just
I think it's
you know,
just that it's another. It's funny because
time's going fast.
I don't really feel this way around my birthday necessarily. I love birthdays, but yeah, for New Year's, it's like another year is behind us. So yeah, I like to throw the big party and have people come to my house because then we're going to have a good time. Now, we don't have, yeah. So but so that's one topic about New Year's. And then you tack onto it all of this pressure that there seems to be around New Year's resolutions. So
Thank you, social media.
yeah, it's just another thing that we can thank social media for.
Yeah. But we're
Yeah.
going to use it for our good, but not the other
Yes.
side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am trying to retrain my brain to look at it as a fresh start with a new year and totally looking forward. There's really a lot of psychology around this topic.
Okay.
There are people who specialize in resolutions, goal setting, all of that to help people have success. Because there is, if you talk to 10 people, probably 9 of them would say, "Yeah, I set resolutions every year, and they're gone by February 6th,
Sure.
blown out of the water."
Yeah.
So, what general position from you guys on this? What do you think?
I get where you're coming from about this whole idea of a year gone.
Mhm.
Um, for me, I think that my dismay with New Year's resolutions are, it seems a weird time to do it. I don't know if I'm an agrarian person as opposed to a calendar person, but the dead of winter when it's dark and gloomy, and if you live in Minnesota, it literally sunset is like at 4:47.
Yeah.
It's already depressing to think about a year has gone. It just seems out of place. Like I like the school year train of thought. Like, September when you know that new year that starts comes with new markers and new pens and
Mhm.
new school books and new planners. And there seems to be joy in the starting of that.
Yeah.
Whereas for whatever reason, it's mental. I know it's mental, but middle of the winter, gray days or bitterly cold, I just don't feel like. And also in Minnesota, you need to get through January. In my mind,
Mhm.
January is not the month to cut stuff out.
Mhm.
January is the month to power through whatever it takes. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my hang up about New Year's.
Mhm.
Plus, I
Sure.
don't like telling everybody my goals or resolutions.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe we need to change it to spring, get through the winter and then, decide what new things you want to do
Mhm.
in the
Well,
spring.
interestingly, a long time ago, I was listening to talk radio way at the beginning of kind of when local talk radio started. And there was a host on, and she said she did not make yearly resolutions. She broke it up by quarter, which
Yes.
I think that that's kind of smart because what you aim to do January through March,
Mhm.
that's a shorter window. Maybe you can power through 3 months of a new habit, or if it doesn't work, you can start over April 1st
Yeah.
and pick something new that's specific to April, May, June. July, August, September, October,
Mhm.
November, December. I like that idea for a multitude of reasons, but I like the smaller window, so
Sure.
that plays into starting spring,
Yep.
a look
Yeah.
at spring. It would be the look at September, which is, I haven't had a kid buy school supplies in forever, but I get giddy when I go to Target and I see
Yeah.
that
All
all.
out.
It
Yeah.
feels exciting.
Completely
Yeah.
agree. So maybe it's breaking it up into periods of time, but then also breaking up. So say whatever that far-reaching goal might be, break it up into steps toward that goal. And I think
Yes.
that's one of the reasons why people fail. It's because they set too big of a dream or benchmark or milestone or whatever it is. This whole new year, new me. My goodness, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds this year. Okay, why don't we start with, okay, so if you want to lose 100 pounds this year, then to your point, Amy, we're going to break that into quarters, break that into months, and do it in incremental steps so that you can actually have a chance at success, because you have to give yourself you have to give yourself the grace that if you fall off the wagon in some way, doesn't mean you have to throw it out. You just have to get back on and keep on track.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that sends people
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah.
I think
In my
people,
research on this one, I found a few tips.
Hmm.
And Amy brought up one of them, and that is when you're thinking about it, you're trying to change a habit. So you're trying to make, whether it be, like you said, losing weight or exercising more or organizing whatever, it should be you're trying to change your habit is really what you're doing. And
Hmm.
another tip was, you're you should have a goal. So like losing weight would be your goal, but then you have to plan and your actions. So you have to, your goal should not be um too broad. You need to bring
Yes.
it into, simple things you can achieve. For instance, like, live life to the fullest. Well, yeah, that would be everybody's, goal. But what is your short term,
How do
what
you
is
measure
your actual
success?
plan and then actions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am a firm believer in plans. Isn't that funny? I don't like goals, but I like plans.
Hmm.
What can I
Mhm.
do today to help me get to whatever that end result is?
Yeah.
So I I don't know. I also think people put too many things on their list.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what does that say? If you got 10 things on your list, does that not also say just a little bit that maybe you don't like yourself very much?
Maybe.
It could. I
Yeah.
mean, if it
Good for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a success if you had one goal and you and you actually,
Hmm.
made a plan for how you're going to, fulfill that goal, and actually did it. To me, that's a success. And
Hmm.
let's say you accomplish your goal by June, well, then you maybe do another one. I don't know.
um have you well, Kitty, I know you've got some research. I know you've
Yep.
did some research too. Do you want to share that before I ask some weird questions?
Yes. I look
You've
forward
been
to the
warned.
weird questions. Yeah. So, some research has shown that there are typically three different perspectives on the topic of New Year's resolutions. There uh, people fall into the category of optimistic enthusiast would be one, pragmatic realist is another, and skeptical critic.
Mhm.
So let's define each of those here, and then I wonder which one each of us would fall into. Um, this is new
Might
information
depend on the day. Okay.
say that again. Okay. Um, okay. So optimistic enthusiast. This person embraces the new year as a canvas for personal transformation. The optimistic enthusiast sees resolutions as a roadmap to a better self. Every goal is a beacon of hope, a chance to break old habits and cultivate new positive ones. This perspective thrives on the excitement of a fresh start, viewing resolutions as opportunities for growth and self discovery.
That is not me.
Nope.
I don't know what
Nope.
other category I fall
Yeah,
into, but that is not me. Which
that's
is
not the one.
I don't think I'm a
Okay.
crabby. Okay, go on. I got to
Okay.
know. Keep going.
Okay. So the pragmatic realist approaches New Year resolutions with a balanced mindset, acknowledging the value of setting goals. This perspective emphasizes the importance of practical, achievable objectives. Resolutions are seen as tools for gradual improvement, emphasizing sustainable changes rather than quick fixes. The pragmatic realist values the journey, understanding that setbacks are part of the process.
That sounds like me.
Yep. Yep.
That,
Definitely
But
realistic.
let's see if I got a sprinkle of the skeptic too.
Okay, so yeah, that one I think all three of us align with the pragmatic realist. Okay, skeptical critic. The skeptical critic views New Year resolutions with a raised eyebrow, questioning the societal pressure and the arbitrary nature of setting goals on January 1st. This perspective may argue that the personal growth isn't bound by a calendar, and resolutions often lead to unrealistic expectations. The
Hmm.
skeptic encourages a year round, holistic approach to self improvement, challenging the conventional wisdom surrounding New Year's resolutions.
Okay, I got a little bit of that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we all kind of the latter two?
Yeah. I
Um,
think so.
I think so, yeah. I'm definitely not one. I think, and
No.
you guys kind of reacted the same way. So, two, Pragmatic Realist with, I mean, what they outline there in Skeptical Critic, that just basically, those are just tips on how to actually be successful with having or making resolutions. So combining
Yep.
those two is
Yeah.
the way to go.
Yeah. So I would love it, absolutely love it, if people who are listening would drop a comment. Are you an optimist, a pragmatist, or a critic?
Yep.
Aren't those our three?
Mhm.
And
Optimist,
one is not
realist.
better than the other.
No.
Heck no.
No, I thought the last one was going to just be negative, but it isn't. It's just a different way of looking at it.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd
Mhm.
agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And hey, for the optimist enthusiast, you
Yeah.
go.
For sure.
That's
For
awesome.
sure.
Yes. And
We're, yeah.
we'll cheer you on.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're all motivated in different ways. So cheering on, Amy, that's a very good thing to bring up, because I feel like that is one of the most important things that we can do for each other. And that's a common thread through this podcast for sure, as we help each other realize our dreams, realize what's next for us. Again, 3
Mhm.
cocktails in, this was born out of, we're in our 50s now, and we're poised for the best phase of our life. And boy, the power, the motivation that comes from those around us to say,
Yeah.
you go get that dream, go design that life that you want to live. I think that's one of the things that I want to make sure I'm doing this year.
Right.
Just
Yes.
being more deliberate with that.
Yeah.
Can I
Saying
wrote down
the
my resolutions. Do you mind if I tell you what they're?
I do, but go ahead. Just
Are-
kidding.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're listed by importance. So from number 10 down to number 1. Number 10.
You have
I will
10?
Yes. Yes. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I will go to a rock climbing facility and watch other people fall.
I will go with you and support
I
you in
I
this
think so,
endeavor.
yes. Right. So number 9, I will learn how to juggle and recite the alphabet backwards simultaneously.
So,
Number 8, I will not go skydiving.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Number 7, I will attend a health lecture and take a bag of chips to eat during the break. Number 6, I will step on the scale and give myself a high five no matter what the numbers are. 5, I will dance like no one is looking when I'm in a public place.
Oh, at a wedding we got coming up. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see you bust a move.
Yeah, like Louis, who am I talking about? Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I think that's how we're
Oh,
gonna do it,
yes. Yes, from
right?
Seinfeld. I can't
Okay,
wait for this.
I know, we're gonna do that. Number 4, I will drink more green margaritas. Number 3, I will work, time will tell, into a conversation at least once a week. Number
Oh, good. That's gonna
Time
be your
will tell.
response?
Yes,
Time will
time will
tell.
tell. Number 2, I will learn the Thriller dance by Halloween. So that at least gives me some time. I just need to learn it by Halloween. And
Yes.
number 1,
Okay.
I will, my friend, mostly you two, set New Year's resolutions and I will hold you to them. Not mine, but to yours.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
All
just
right,
silly.
you.
I didn't really make all those. I might do some, but probably not. Whatever.
so here's what I love about that, Stacey. That's a really fun, wonderful way to look at it. Whether or not you're serious about those, those specific ones, that's a
Well, I know
great
I'm
way
not
to
going
approach it.
skydiving.
Yeah. That's
I
a
know
great
I'm
way
not
to
going.
approach it.
Yeah. No,
I do
seriously.
think she will probably learn the Thriller dance, though, knowing what we
Yeah,
know about Stacey. That
That's
is
true.
I might.
very attainable.
Yeah.
I might. The more I think about it, I think I need to do that. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, I do have one resolution that I am more goal that I'm more than happy to share that I think everybody here will get on board with, because it relates to the podcast. I am bound and determined to figure all this technical crap out so that we have good lighting and good audio, and I don't
Mhm.
sound like I'm coming in from a bus. And, I want this. I feel like we're good as we are getting the conversation going, but man, these technical glitches are kind of
Yeah.
making me a little crazy. So that is my goal for us. Can I
Okay.
set goals? You know how much I love it when people set goals for me.
Yeah.
Which, can we just say that I get businesses having to set targets. Targets. I like to think of them as targets because it's work related.
Yeah.
But to give me a goal that you have set for me, it's not a goal.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like that's the right word. And especially New Year's resolutions, do not get suckered in to something with a partner. Partner says, let's run a marathon. And you look at him, you go, well, I love you. And so I guess I'll do that. You set
No.
goals for you.
Yeah.
And if they happen to align,
Yeah.
great. But, I mean, I suppose this is that whole idea of coaches, hiring a coach to help you
Mhm.
get where you want to go.
Mhm.
That we got to have another conversation about that, to be real honest, because
Yeah.
I don't. That's new in my world.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the idea of
Let's
thinking about that.
Yeah, let's add that to the list. I think that would be a really good thing to talk about. It's something I've been very intrigued about, and I've always just kind of pushed it away thinking, "Oh my god, that's got to be really expensive. I'm not going to do that." Well, how about the expense if you don't do it?
Right. I'm
So,
curious to know, what makes somebody qualified to be a coach. There
mhm.
are people who are
Yeah.
coaching who have never done the activity that they are coaching.
Yeah.
That I am a skeptic about
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. For sure.
And
All right.
having grown up as an athlete, I don't need anybody yelling at me and
Yeah.
telling me to, whatever.
Yeah, we're
So,
gonna add that one to the list. And a reminder too to our listeners, if there are things that you want to put on our list, drop them in comments or drop messages to us. We love
yeah.
to hear from everyone.
Yeah.
So,
So, Kitty, do
yep.
you have any resolutions? Do you
Well,
have a goal? Have you I mean, I gather you've thought about it.
yes.
Would you like to share?
Well, I think the one that I mentioned about being a very intentional cheerleader to everyone around me. So I feel like that is something that I'm doing for myself, and that is a behavior that I do it. I want to do more of it. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would call that a resolution. It's something that I have to build the behavior around. Um, but I haven't really given specific thought to uh, anything other than that because I don't. In the past, I have set them too big, and I have not had good luck with them. So what I want to do, I want to take this conversation, I want to take this perspective, and look at it differently this year.
Yeah.
And I think I am going to not necessarily look at it as of the first of the year. You know, it would be interesting to talk to somebody who doesn't live in this northern climate have the winter darkness that we have. And just, I'm curious to see if their perspective is different. Because when you articulated, Amy, that why is this when it's dark out, it's cold out, all of these, why is this the time to start something new?
Right.
Kind of curious about how our friends in Florida or Texas would feel about this.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe they don't get much done in the summer, and in the climate where you're 110 all summer, maybe they don't get much done.
Well, that would
in
be
that
like
time.
Sarah, when she was telling us about how she could not recommend, was it Scottsdale in the summer?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I know that Madeline is not a big fan of Houston in the summer as well.
Yeah.
Probably for the same reason. You're stuck in your house.
Yeah.
Right.
In a house or inside. So interesting.
Speaking of Sarah, listeners, you all got to meet Sarah a few episodes ago. She is our friend who took the big leap from corporate and opened a Yoga 6 yoga studio. It opened last weekend. It looks like it was crazy busy, really fun launch and opening. So she is doing well. And if you're in the metro area, you guys go and check out her studio. It's in Minnetonka. And she's making her dreams come true.
Yeah, I have some days off between Christmas and New Year's, and I haven't looked at their schedule, but if she's got a class going on, I haven't been in a yoga class in forever, and I'm very tempted to go.
Yeah. Okay, me too. I'm off during that time period as well. So let's do it.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So we are going to wrap this episode. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. As we wrap up this specific conversation on New Year's resolutions, please remember that the journey of self-improvement is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And each journey is specific to you. So hopefully you'll be able to take a little bit about what we talked about here today, and make those goals attainable, break them down so that you set yourself up for success. We want everyone to be able to embrace the joy in the process, celebrate every small victory, and know that just like the changing seasons that we talked about today, your journey is unique and beautiful. So cheers to a year filled with progress, with laughter, the endless possibilities that come with being the designer of your own destiny. You guys, Happy New Year, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit 'em.